Good morning, students. Today we will see the remaining features of the cloud, which are traditional features and also platform features, and what are the security features also we need to consider. And later on we will see the platform, which are the supporting tools we are using here. What is the role of the worker or the web on these programming or the runtime support what we are giving. So coming to these the presentation. So yesterday we have seen cloud capabilities and platform features, means the introduction topic of these features. We have four such representations there. First we saw the cloud capabilities, that means cloud platform capabilities. It should be we are using physical and virtual computing platform, and we are dealing with the massive data storage. That's why we are dealing with the distributed file system, and also what are the storage services we are using, and we are having, according to the programming model, how we are going to the means store or the process the data, and why we manage these workflows, and what are the query languages we are using, and what are the supportings we are giving at the deployment and also the runtime, and also at the remaining tools which are using while computing our programming. And also we have covered infrastructure cloud features, means accounting, appliances, data transport, operating systems, gang scheduling, and also we have seen traditional features in cluster, grid, and parallel computing environments. And we covered what are the platform features, means what are the storages we are using, and also what are the things we are using for supporting, that is the tools what we are using for the supporting these things has been considered in this. That is about the yesterday's class. And coming to the today's presentations, we are using all the three here. Which one is the traditional features which are common for cloud and the grids. So among these means among all the four representations, we have chosen someone as a traditional features which has to be considered for the common environment. So the first one is the workflow. If we see the workflow, we need to take these abstractions of the cloud infrastructures into an account. Means we need to know what are the things we are possibly processing. Means we need to take what are the servers we are using, and what are, in which way they are executing, all the things we need to know. So that's why we need to consider that a workflow should has to be maintained here. How far we are gaining, how far we are doing all these things here is, so this workflow is helpful for us. So likewise, data flow, in yesterday's example explained data flow and control flow has been used in several representations here. So here, what are the things we need to consider before execution or before processing, we should know. So that the information will be given by the workflow here. Means what is the activity or what are the activities we need to perform, and what are the transformations we are giving to that old models or the traditional models, like that. And also we are taking what are the services, information, and all these things has to be considered here. So here we should know, to reach our outcome or to reach our complete execution, successful execution of a task, we should know what we are going to perform. Okay, so likewise what it is, we need to take the sequential or the pattern of the task, or the series of these sequential tasks has to be known by us. This workflow, the workflow will make us to know what are the processes, or what are the rules, what are the conditions, or the activities which has been enabled by the system to achieve these things. for example, if anything has to be transforming or the anything has to be transformed into representations has to be uh, take care of these workflow only. So that's why what we are doing, we are making this workflow to be available as a language here. So how far we can achieve this representations here is, we are taking uh, the data, rules and the tasks which are needed for completion of a uh, business, of a application or any task. What is the outcome here is, we need to get the outcome what we are designed for this one. So what could be the examples of here is, we are taking these things to be done in a multiple manner. Multiple works will be given to the people. Uh, we can take these things has been considered, and they are taking series of the steps to be done. Means I can explain through this well-known example to you. That is, we are taking the divide and conquer method. You have seen the divide and conquer method in the, so in that one what we are taking is the problem, and the problem is splitted into the small problems, and the small problem solutions has been taken into an account. After that what it is doing, it is providing an environment that they can be, means what the outcome from the different task or the different one has to be taken, and they are been clubbed or they are been together, has been specified as a single solution. So here what you have to do here is, we need to take these things into an account. Means while processing a program or anything, we are choosing the parallel environment into an account. So if there is a parallel environment also, we can take that workflow into an account. So who is working on which thing, we need to know, and what they are performing, what the input they are taking into an account, what the output they will get, all the things should be known by the user, or the should be known by the concept C. So here this model what you are using completely for the machine, business processing here. So this business processing means machine shops, like you can construct the processing stations, and also information insurance claims, and also sometimes they are also used in the software developments. So all these are examples when we are using. And apart from this business oriented one, they are also using in scientific experiments also, and in medical side they are taking the healthcare data analysis into an account. So how they are using in healthcare here. So for first they have to take a workflow into an account. So what this workflow will do? So this will take these complex data analysis has to be taken into. So first we need to take the data into an account and search for the data, and data manipulations has to be done. And why we consider this type of the mechanism here is, it is also a component, or it is also a supporting in service oriented architecture. So this will be helpful for in different representations here. So we are using service components, geographical components, distributed components while processing. So what this do here is, this workflow will provide an interaction to provide the corresponding functionality, which makes these things to be done by the service oriented architecture what we are choosing. So likewise, there are several examples, we can see several working areas, and we can describe the applications also. We can take these as standard process driven message service in is the technology is also taken the used on these uh, workflows into an account. So likewise, we are taking these things to be done here. So that is a workflow. Here the workflow has been used in many areas, likewise in many projects also. It is also used in US and also Europe, in Pegasus and Taverna and Kepler. So these are the represented there. They have been used this workflow into an account, and they have been gain the wide acceptance of using the workflow will help us to know what the steps are is been processing or what the steps we are doing into an account. So this is like we have in the first year you in like learning C will make you the usage of the flowcharts here. So why we are using the flowcharts or the why we are considering the flowcharts means we should know what the programming is doing, what are the control flows we need to know, and where the programming is leading to you. All these things has to consider, and we are drawing the flowchart here. So by seeing the flowchart, you will come to know that what is the program representing, how the input and the these control statements are leading to the that is the outcome what you are expecting for. So likewise, what you are specifying workflow has to be considered, because we are not dealing with a simple program here. We are dealing with the projects. So the projects means which has been used for the decades or which has been developed for the years also. So what they need to do, they need to take these things into consideration, that what they were performing has to be known to them previously. So that's why what they uh, means accepting that the workflow should be considered. So why we are using the workflow? The workflow here is representing that we are making the things in a easy manner. It is also providing the connectivity where we need to establish the connectivity. Workflow means not only we are making that we are taking this value, the control structure will pass to that, but not like that flowchart. Is also allowing to know that at this particular state we need the connectivity, or the we need to take this into an that is another representations means another connections into an account to get the data from that one. Likewise, there are many systems which has means using these workflow representations. So the examples are Pipeline Pilot, AVS, and then LIMS environment. All these things are considered. LIMS environments library, sorry, laboratory information management system. So here all this is completely about the informations what you are using. Workflow makes links also which connects the clouds, which connect the cloud with the grid with the cloud, and private cloud with the another one. And again you can go for the non-cloud services also. All will take into an account, and they will provide the connection to that one, and they make you access that. And coming to the another feature which has been commonly used in this grid and cloud or data transport. In yesterday class, I described what is the cost of a transport means. We need to consider the cost in fact of the not only the money. We need to consider the cost factor in the in the representation of the time also. So here we need to take the cost in the matter of the time and money, and what these commercial clouds are charging. So here we need to specify. We are using the commercial clouds here. So if we are using the commercial clouds here, what it is expecting is we need to give the high bandwidth links, and also we need to provide the data in such a way that the cost could be very less. Because if the cost is, if the money cost is increasing means what it is doing, the time of usage what you are representing is less means the cost of usage will be low. If the time of usage or the time of sending or transporting the data is high means the cost will be high here. So that's why what it is doing to maintain such infrastructure, we need to expect high bandwidth links has to be uh, available with these clouds and teragrids. Okay, so we need to consider this one, because we need to transfer the data, or we need to transport the data between grids and the clouds, or clouds are multiple sources, or the multiple destinations are there. So that's why what we are doing, we need to maintain the high bandwidth links here. And also we need to take the cloud data is not to be stored in a basic way. Means when you are storing the data, should be in the database or a server, we are following that. So here we are taking a special structure of the cloud with the blocks here. We can specify them as Azure blobs or tables. Means in previous example we have seen platform features, we have seen uh, blob, DPFS, and then next table has been used as a storage purposes here. So the table is also a data structure which has been modeled for Amazon and then next Apache, and we also taken the NoSQL is there. NoSQL has been also considered. So likewise, what we have to do here is we need to provide this special structure to be maintained to store the data, not like the simple server storing data. Why? Because this type of the structure of your data will allow you take the high performance here. High performance because we are taking this executions in a parallel mode. So that's why we are using high performance parallel algorithms to access and also to put into that data. Get and put has to be performed, and also they can use the protocols which is specified. When coming to the initiation, we need to use only the simple HTTP mechanisms. We are processing through these means grids or anything to transport the data, but we are not taking these traditional into an account, because we are forwarding into the, that is many changes has been taken into our technology, which makes these things, the protocol things has to be changed here. So HTTP mechanism what you are using will transport your data likewise in TeraGrid or the commercial clouds, but by using this special structures will help you to transfer our data in a quick manner, means when compared with the basic representations here. So that's about the data transport. Means data, while transporting the data we need to be cautious. So here what is this one representing is we need to pay for the things what you are used. So if the pay is coming to an account, we need to consider time and uh, the money there. So the time is will be reflecting the money. If the time is increasing, the time is taking here, the cost, the money cost what you are representing here is very, is also increasing, is perpendicularly increasing. So that's why what we are taking, we need to store these data elements into a new special structure here. So that's why we are using blocks or the tables here we are representing. Okay, and coming to the third feature which is been common for cloud and Azure. First one is security, next privacy, and then availability. So these are the several solutions, we are the several issues we have been taken with possible solutions here. So here we are using the virtual clustering. Why we are using this virtual clustering here is we need to provide the resources dynamically with with we need mention the cost won't overhead. Means we are providing the virtual environment. Virtual environment means what? The people won't have the environment and they are buying this service or they are accessing this by paying some money. So likewise they are accessing money, means we won't allow them to pay the money as a high, because when the installations has been done or the when you have purchased, we also spend some money. But when we are giving this service available to the others, many people will come to access that service and you will get the your what the thing what you spent on these infrastructure, on these any service to provide these people will be get back to you. Means if we are taking, I spend some 10,000 on this or some software, or you can specify some lakhs on this infrastructure, how could I give these things to very at very low cost? Like that you will think. If you are thinking like that, then no people will come to access your service here, because if they are paying high, means what they will think, if I am paying that much of money to this person or the do this service, it will be easy to me to buy that infrastructure or to buy that thing, and it will be maintained by me, because the trust factors and then security factors has been considered. Now that's why what we have to do, we need to take only the minimum cost into an account, because whenever you are dealing with this virtual environment, you will accept, or you will have to know that many people will come into your known that they will having the desire to use of your service. So that's why what you are doing, if you are providing the environment flexible to them, flexible means not only the programming environment, also the cost, and the next time all the things has to be specified here. That's why whatever the resource provisioning we need to give dynamically should be with the minimum overhead cost. Okay, so they should not increase the minimum. Means you should know, you will know that this software is a popular or no. So if this software is a popular, or this service or this application is a popular, means many people will take the access of that thing. So then what you will think, then you will have the privilege of getting your that is income, or the well what you have been spent on that thing. So that's why we need to consider minimum cost there. And also it supports the virtual clustering in environment also. When coming to the data storage, you will use, means we should the cloud or the grid should use a stable and persistent data. Why? Because we are getting the information retrieval from the data query languages only what we are using. So they place the query, and you have to give the data in such a manner that the query getting, and then next these means the latency period, means the query raised by the client, and you are sending the that is the request, the response, you are sending the response could not be take the more time here. If you are availing more time here, the latency period increases, the cost, the data transport cost also increasing there. So for this representation, we need to maintain, for taking this information retrieval into an account, we need to take the first queries here. The first queries means the data storage should be stable and persistent here. That's why we are using the special structures for storing the data, means blobs, tables, and the big table and DPFS, all these things supportives will be given for storing the data. And coming to the authentication. For authentication, we need to provide these special APIs. The interface what we are using with these things, we should specify that you should be authenticated by this API, or you can give them accessibility to the emails. So you know that some, whenever registering, when you are going to access any environment there, if you want to take it as a security, as a privacy as a main concern, what they are doing is they are sending emails to our that is mails to that one. So what are the mails? So the emails what they are providing means they are using the commercial accounts, means these thing is for your cloud environment. When you are getting the cloud to be, means when you are purchasing a cloud service, they are giving some amount, that means some account to you. That account is a commercial account, that is not a free account. To that what they are providing the means authentication to that, means enter this OTP or some passcode or any representation, any security representation will be given to that your email, and by clicking that link you will go to the access. So likewise they are providing special things to be accessible by you only, not by the others. So if they are sending emails only to your mail, then email means sorry, for your commercial accounts, then you will be able to access these mails only, because you should know the credentials of your accounts. If you are allowing others to know your credentials, that is up to you. You are allowing them to use their services freely, and they can use that services in a bad way also. So that's why these are the two mechanisms to need to be used for authentication for security maintenance. And coming to the next one, resources here. So how these resources are accessed? These resources are accessed with the protocols when we are using these internet means web resources or the web interface. What the protocols they are specifying is HTTPS and SSL, secure shell representation is using, and also they have been using the protocol which is the HTTPS here. If you see when you are using the Google or anything, you will see that HTTPS has been considered. Okay, so these are the, along with these protocols only, these two protocols only, the cloud is allowing the user to access the cloud resources. Okay, and coming to the access control, how these access control has been maintained. So the access control is, what you have to do, what you have to specify here is, we need to protect the data there. So we not need to take these intruders or the hackers into that into that file representations what you are using, or the environment what you are providing. So that's why what it is doing, it is allowing the access control to take these data integrity into an account. Means you can control the access of the file up to some persons only. If also I am have the availability of accessing the file, if I know the means the locker password or any other feature which has been used for the privacy of that file, then only I will have the availability or the capability of accessing that file. So that's why accessibility has to be given to all, but we need to take in that we are not blindly means keep the trust on the persons who has been availing this service here. What we need to do, availing the service, providing these services or the providing the files, so not only a one task, we need to protect these files. So we need to frequently update the lock passwords or the locking links what you are chosen here. So whenever you are taking these into an account, so it will change by time to time, means for 1 hour it will be changed, or for consider day by day or some hours also it will be changed. Means when I am going to access the file, I should know what is the password, what is the updated prediction mechanism for that file. Okay, likewise means we need to take these access controls into an account also. And coming to the data sets which has been shared here, so how we are protecting the shared data sets there, in the above representations we have given individual file accessibility here. So here we are taking the shared data sets into your account here. So here shared data sets means we need to concentrate on the malicious actions here. So what are the malicious actions means? Alterations, deletions or the copyright violations will has to be keep into mind here. So what are the copyright violations here? So I am accessing a service which is also an application which has been developed earlier by someone. They gave me that application and also the privilege of accessing that application through my data to develop my project or to develop my program. So whenever I am using this software, we don't have the capability of accessing the source code of that thing, that is application you are having. But you can get the source code here. How we are getting the source code here is by using the binary translation. So the binary translation is giving the only the binary source code of your thing. Never, if you have the capability of getting the binary code of your source code, then you will, means it will take some time. Then you will easily get the that is the data, the source code data after some means work procedure has to be done on these binary translations to get the source code. After that you will be able to access the source code of that application. There you have been violated the copyright. They allowed to take the privilege of accessing the software only, not to take the that is source code, and you develop your own application or develop your the things in here. So if you want to take these things to be developed by you, you need to take this open source environment into an account. Okay, you will go for the platform as a service, or you will go for the infrastructure as a service. If you are availing this service, then they are allowing to make the changes because you have been paid for that one. So they are allowing to take the privilege of giving you accessibility to that codes, and they are making to others that we can make our own versions of your applications what you have selected there. Apart from this, if you are doing this one, that could be as a violated action. That's why we don't need to keep these alterations or the deletions or violations in the malicious. So they need to be protected from this one. How they are protected means they need to keep track of these files what has been shared, and who are performing the alterations. All these things has to be keep into and frequent monitoring here. If they are not frequently monitoring all these things, what they will have is all these files will be altered, or the any malicious performance will be done on them. So that's why we need to take a group of the people, or we need to develop a algorithm, or any representation that will help you to know to overcome this type of means problem, or this type of the situation. And we need to take availability here. Availability means when we are dealing with a system, when we should say that it's available here is if it is specifying that the availability is the high, HG, high availability. High availability means we need to consider that whenever the system has been that is disaster has been, or the visitor has been crashed, so the system or the environment should be able to migrate our work into the another environment by taking the live migration into an account when dealing with the virtual machines. So by doing this type of the thing, although we are taking that some downtime, the work has been elapsed here, but the work will be resumed by transferring our our work to the another system here. That's why we need to take availability of the systems into an account. So we can't say that only one system will be failed at this particular amount of the time, because these are the systems, they are just working on computing what they are doing, what they are giving to them. So they may fail. Okay, so that's their nature. So what we have to do, we need to recovery the some things with that one. So that's why we are taking migration into an account here. So to perform the migrate, there could be some thing that is nodes has to be, or the systems has to be available. If they are not available, then there is no need, or then there is no any chance of recovery will be there. So that's why we need to make the backups into an account. Whenever you are writing some exams also, they will maintain some buffers, or the like. Why they need to maintain means the nature of these systems they will crash at any time. So what you are doing, they are allowing these things to be done, or to be performed by the another system on the same action here. So we are not allowing to take them that you will start your examination, or you will perform your work from the initiation step. You need to take the resumation here. Resumation has to be done. So most of the things what you are doing is we are migrating them, and we are resuming that thing here environment on these virtual machines. So here we are having another one is use of your reputation systems here. So reputation systems means to when you are dealing with the computation or anything, what it is doing is you need to take account of these what the service, or the what the organization is popular in this one. Simply when you are buying an object, or buying some clothes, or buying anything, what you will do, you will go for a reputed one, or you will go for a popular one. why we are using this popular into an account. Many people are visiting that environment, that is the shop or anything. They are purchasing there and they are giving their feedback to you. Means if you are purchasing somewhere and your things are not good working, that what you will do, you will won't access, you will won't be go for these purchasing into an account. So whether anyone you are taking your dress shopping or your laptop or phones or any accessories what you are using for that one, so what it is, you will go for the reputed one. Reputed one means which is the most popular one, and they have some good work. The good means you can say that they have the only the good performance on this one. They won't have that feedback as the bad one. So if you go for these things to be done, software also, when you are using the softwares also, uh, you will purchase the software which is supporting your environment, and also you will go for that for the reputed one. Okay, so if you want to install an application also, what you will think, many applications will be there, many games will be there, many one, what you are doing, you will you have the willing to access the reputed only. What the things we will perform here is the, we need to take the clients and these things. Pirates has to be trusted, sorry, clients has to be trusted. We need to stop the pirates here. Pirates means, if you remember the previous class, we have considered the pirates here. Why? Because pirates means we have the copyrighted service there. So the copyrighted service means the clients has been paid to access the that one. So I took one example also. If you have the Amazon or the Netflix account, you are giving to the others. You are giving to the others means what it is they are already doing. They are allowing to access your account. They are accessing the resources of that account there. So if anything means, there is no any such thing happens to in that account, because they only allow to access the some web series or anything. But what you are doing, you are paying and you are giving this availability of accesses to these others also. So if it is only for these web series or anything, then there is no any problem. If it is for the accessing of any information from reputed systems, and any malware action has been performed by the person who got the credentials from you, then you will be punished, and also that person will be punished. The person who is getting the data inappropriately from that sites has been specified as the pirate. So here we need to take only the clients into an account who are the trusted, and other we need to take the pirates to be stopped here. How we are going to stop means, whenever they are performing such actions, what they are doing, they will be not able to access this one anymore, because they will find, in many movies we have seen from where it has been, when the way problem has been done, where that has been hacked, what the changes will be done, uh, from where the file has been copied. All these things will come into an account when we are dealing with the technology, because it has a very ways of getting the know where the things has been means wrongly performed, or the who are the things. If it will take some time, but yeah, rather after, what they will do is they will find the culprit or the pirate who has been performed this one. So after that, we have the data features and the databases. That in that first one is the program library. So the program library means, in previous session I said what is this one. It will take these images into an account, means to manage the images and to take these additional programming files to into and support. We use the program library. What are the images here? So images means single system image. You are using the virtual machines. Virtual machines means, what is a virtual machine, how it is being, what are the virtualization it is using, what is the memory capacity, and what is the operating systems it is using, what is the hard disk, or any simple information which has been used for knowing that system has to be placed on that image. So these image has to be maintained by the program library. And coming to the next one, blobs and writes. So this blobs, what you are using in the Azure is the blobs, and also it is using for the S3. S3 means simple storage service, which is being used in the Amazon. Okay, so the blobs is the blob means it's a storage name. It's a storage, if means it's a storage structure, or the you can say special structure what you are using for storing the data is been specified as a blob here. So how it is being organized here is they are being organized as a directories only, or some may specify in Azure it has been organized as a, or specified as a containers in that one. How we are going to take these into an account is we need to provide these we can take these things directly, we can access these blobs directly through the interface, or we can take the place the instances or the queries to access the blobs. And by that what they will allow you take these blobs into an account, and they will allow you take the computation of these blobs, or that is getting the data or any giving the data has to be considered. Likewise, we are using many things into the specification here. The means we are also specifying the shared file system into an account. For this shared file system into an account, we are using the similar concept, and it is being used in the Lure, and then next TerraGrid, which has been Lure, which has been used in the TerraGrid here. So where what it is doing here is there the fault tolerant has to be considered here, because we need to take the backup into an account, not only the storage. Storing is not only the thing, we need to take the backup into an account. Whenever you are facing a problem, whenever you are facing a problem, you need to take these things has to be retrieved, has to be recovered when the component, other component has also failed. There is no need to wait for the component recovery. The one component has been failed, what you have to do is nothing but we need to take another components to be in a active state, and these things has to be performed or go on in a such a way that that won't affect the other components here. So here this blob structure will help us to take this data transport in a such a way that so there is no need to delay of that. We are using high bandwidth links also, that's why there is no need to delay of processing or getting this one, and while we are storing the data as a stable and persistent. And coming to the next representation, DPFS, we are using the support to these file systems here. So we are providing the support to the file systems. How we are providing these support means we are making these available by using some tools here. The tools are the MapReduce one, HDFS means Hadoop distributed file system, and the Cosmos. Cosmos is used for the Microsoft thing. So these are the three different environments what we are using. They are providing three different tools or the different supports for the file system. Why? Because we are using here is we need to link, or we need to provide these things to the application centric storage model only. So that's why we need to take possible to link these distributed parallel file system into an account to this basic block, and also we need to take drive based architecture to be performed file processing. So when we are considering the data transport into an account, we need to take these data to be in two different views here. So the first view will be the data means the parallel file system what we are using has to be designed for the efficient execution of data intensive applications only, and we need to provide the linkages between these DPFS and then the blobs or the drive based architectures what we are using in a smooth way. So if it is not clear linkage, then there is no use of providing the link between this parallel file systems to these storage representations what you are using. If we are not providing fine grained support for this one, then what it is doing is it won't be able to access the files what you are having from these Google file system. What the MapReduce is doing, it is the getting the data from the file system here. When it is able to get the data, then only we have the linkage which is a clear one, and it is take the into an account that that it should provide a platform which has to be supported by others also. So that's why we need to take all these things into an account when we are processing. Coming to the next one, there is a SQL and relational databases here. So here the relational databases will be used by the both Amazon and Azure, and they are also used for the means processing the data also. So they are using tables and the MapReduce also as the tools for supporting these relational databases. And we have the another concept of representation, which is specified as a future grid. So what is this future grid is? It is a private computing model here. What it is doing here is it is being means developed for observational medical outcomes partnership here. OMOP is represented. So which is being designed for the patient related medical data, which is been using Oracle and SAS only. So here we are also adding the Hadoop into an account for making these different analysis methods which are the scaling into an account. So when we are dealing with these databases, we need to take those deploying the capabilities of that one in two approaches. So the first one is we need to add the database software to our system to find the data on the computer disk. So what this software will do, this while executing this software, this providing the instance of your database to us, then you will have the access to the database, then you will get the data. That is the first one. If you consider another second method, or the not on the traditional method, we are using the database has to be installed on the virtual machine independently, which is on the separately here, because it is not to be done on the host machine or the thing what you are using. So we should maintain the database has to be installed on a separate virtual machine, which is being independent from our job. That is, it not being developed or it not being maintained by us. It has been maintained by the others. So then what it is doing, then how come we will access this database? So then you will have the that is one service here. That service will make you to use the database here. That service name is the SQL as a service. So SQL as a service will be able to allow to take the accessibility of the database which has been installed on the separate virtual machine. Then you will be able to access this that is server the database what you are having. Although we are providing this one, you have the some performance issues here, because we need to we need to provide access that service, we need to provide that is a deployment, and also we need to take interfaces to connect that one. Our request has been processed. All this time will be taken, that performance will be degraded here, means the performance issues will be there. So for that one, what you have to do, we need to take that by allowing, why we need to install our database on other mission. I will go for that only, because there will be some problem in maintaining the database at my own space, but using this as a service means it is degrading my performance will be the issue raised here. And also we are using another one, that is a table and NoSQL, non-relational databases. So the table means it is also a using as a storage structure here, because when you are considering the table, it is a data structured one or the structured data. When you are considering the NoSQL, NoSQL means not only SQL. So NoSQL, what it is doing, it is providing the unstructured data, and also it is taking these things to be done in such a way that we won't use the tables to be accessed, or the tables to be processed here. So it is like the SQL only, but it won't act as a SQL to store or to process. So this is one example representation here. In previous class I said we are using the MongoDB as a example a database for NoSQL, and for SQL we are using MySQL or Oracle version, that is to our processing. So here we are using the disk arrays to store the data. In this disk array we are storing the data in the form of the tables, and we are providing the databases which are the relational databases here. means you are providing a relation between the tables also for accessing. But here in NoSQL, it won't store the data in the form of tables. It will be in the form of any. Means here the databases could be anyone. So there is a could be a relational database one. So you can store the data in the place of the column. You can store the data uh, in a graphical format, graph format, and you can take the key and then you can assign a key to the value. While accessing the key, you will get the value of that one, and you are providing the documented one. What is a graph means? It's a connected graph, and we are not providing there in the document. It is a unconnected one. So these are the several examples you are taking. How could be the program here? So see here. So when you are writing a program to your that is what you call query, we are giving first we need to create a table. After that we need to insert the values into that. So inserting the values is similar to this one only. So in this one, we are having several representations into an. So we are taking the fields into an account, and we are also taking the type of fields into an account. Why we are using these fields and type of fields means these are the fields. Okay, what are the type of fields means? So first name or the surname both has to be string only. The cell number and the next location what you are consider. Sorry, cell number will be the numerical only. The city what you are using will be given as a string, but the location will be taken as a geo coordinates, not as the numericals. And the profession is also specified as the uh, string only, but it is taking the in array into an echo. You can't create the profession into the means you are not able to provide these profession as a splitted one. So here had the multi tabs or the multi columns is there. We are not be able to provide this type of the things. So what we are doing, we are taking this into an account that we can take these fields can contain arrays also for processing. So in this one, I am taking the profession as the banking, finance and trader. I am giving it as a ones and providing the cars here. So the car information is having subfields here, which is the model year and what is the value. And it is also providing some another examples also, means what are the engines, what you are using, what is the capacity, or all different examples of there. So whenever I am giving the coordinates of that one, means multiple values to that one. So what we are using, we are using the square brackets into an account. And if you are giving that means one instance, if you are having multiple sub instances into an account, it has been used as a flower braces here. So when you are considering this one, there is a square brackets, it's been considered as the instances of that one. In this instance or the in this field, we are having the subfields or the sub representations here. So that's why what we are providing their information also here. So this is the, by that we are giving the information to this one. So this is like what you will see in programming also. We are, when you are trying to print the names or when you are trying to give the names dynamically, you will follow this type of the representation. This is the one example for a NoSQL program. Here we won't use any creation or the tabular representations for processing the fields or the processing the things here. We use structure like how we are giving the data on manual one, how we are simply writing that like that only we will provide that one. And it is supporting many types here. It is not giving only one type of one, it is giving a many types has been considered while processing also. And coming to the next one, so we have seen the worker, that is a runtime support. In this programming and the runtime supports, we have the two such concepts here. First one is the worker and the web roles here, and the next one map reduce. So here in this worker and the web roles here, in previous one we have seen that what is the web role is representing. So here what we are doing, web role means the interface. We need to take the interface into an account. So we need to provide the portals for connecting to that gateway. Means web role means we need to provide the interface to connect to that environments. That's why we are taking the interface into an account. The gateways has to be provided here. That's why the web role here is they need to provide the approaches to reach the portals and to access the environment what they are having. So because we are accessing these applications through web only, we can take these science gateways which are being successful in the TerraGrade has been considered here. And also we can specify that worker role as what is the worker role in that one. We need to schedule the process, and we need to take the gang scheduling also. So we need to specify any explicit scheduling is there or not, or any individual worker roles or there has been specified any for any gang scheduling is there. Gang scheduling means this one example. Gang scheduling means the parallel executions has to be done. So here the worker role will differ. So the worker role, why it is going to differ here is they need to take these read the data spaces, data elements what they are having in splitting one, and they need to create these mapping into an account. So that's why the worker role here is we need to schedule the process. What is the process here? We have been taken input, it has to be splitted and then it's mapped. So we need to schedule. After scheduling, what you have to do here is then it been has to be automatically launched here. So if you need to provide any explicit scheduling is there or not, is it necessary or not, we need to know. So if you want to provide only the explicit scheduling, then you need to go for the individual worker law. If not, there is no need to go for the individual worker law. And then we have to take the fault tolerance and also the task assignment into an account when we are dealing with this processing. So coming to the next one, MapReduce. This is the tool what you are using for the programming and also for the runtime supports. So that is in general, how can you specify that is this is considered as a data parallel language which is being used for the computation of different data samples where on the parallel or the execution of different data samples in a parallel way. And also we need to take many task problems into an account because they have the possibility of taking these things to be done in a iteration way also. In the coming topics, we will see what are the MapReduce, what is the framework of that one, what are the structure means definitions of that one, and also what is the data logical data view of that representation, what are the elements formal notations we are using for that one, that is the MapReduce, and what is the actual data and how we are going to control flow that representations here, and how we are going to make this partition work to be done, and how we are taking these workers to be reduced when we are taking these map and the reducing has to be performed. So in previous class also I explained this one. First we will take the input and we will split the input into the three represented because we have the three rows are the three data elements here. So it's not the data elements, three sets of the data here. So from that we need to map that one. So this mapping and then shuffling or the splitting, reducing or any final result generation has to be performed parallelly. So they are using this gang scheduling into an account. So we are splitting one. Okay, after splitting we need to map that. So mapping means we need to consider how many elements has been taken in one set and how many times it has been used has been specified in after that one. So simply we are taking only the one means unique representation into an account only. So that's why we have split it into that 3 and then mapped into that that is one time it has been used. Whether it has been used two times also we are representing as a one only, and after that we are shuffling that one. Why we are shuffling that one is we are creating or we are specifying that how many data elements are there in this data sets. So we are having the 4 elements, like 4 elements has been used in 3 different data sets. So the different data sets been shuffled and has been formed 4 sets of the unique data, and these 4 sets of the unique data has to be represented in a reducer format. So that's why we are using the word count into an account. So where 2 has been represented and car 3 there 2 and has been represented here. Almost if you see the examples what you are using for these count, word count problem will take the advantage of this MapReduce only. And also we are taking final result into an account that we are considering into the one data set which is been representing that we are taking bear 2, and then scar 3, dare 2 times, river 2 times in the data set what we have been represented earlierly as in internet. So this map reduce has been used in many environments here. Google, Apache, Microsoft, Twister, and Azure here. All these things will be discussed in the next coming topics, that is a parallel and distributed programming paradigms, which is completely about only the parallel execution of your programming here. So that's why we are using the MapReduce as a one which is been supported in that one. We will see different examples also how we are going to process all these things into an account to get the solutions here. So in previous examples we have seen several languages also. So I explained Sojal, Pig Latin. They are the high level languages we have been used here. We will see the Pig Latin operators, Pig Latin data types, and also the Pig Latin programs also, how it is being used and how they are executing these things by using the mapping applications, that is a map reduce application. So that's about this topic, that is the features of a cloud and the platforms features what we are using for the processing our cloud environments. Thank you.